Right now, somewhere, something in the unseen realm may be paying very close attention to you. Not your actions, not your words, your thoughts. That's what most believers quietly assume. And it's why so many Christians live half afraid of their own minds, afraid to think the wrong thing, afraid the enemy is listening in on something they haven't even said out loud yet. But here's the scandal nobody tells you in church. The Bible never, not once, says Satan can read your thoughts. Not a single verse. So what does Scripture actually say the enemy can do? Job chapter 1, verse 7. God asks Satan a direct question. From where do you come? And Satan answers, from going to and fro on the earth and from walking back and forth on it. Notice that. He's walking. He's searching. He has to move across the earth to find out anything at all. 1 Peter 5, verse 8 goes even further. It says he walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Seeking. If he already knew everything about you, your fears, your patterns, your secret thoughts before you thought them, he wouldn't need to seek anything. He'd already have you. A hunter who already knows exactly where his prey is doesn't need to stalk. He just needs to move in. The fact that Scripture shows him walking, watching, searching tells you something. He is limited. He is working with less than you assume. So here's where it gets clear. 1 Kings 8, verse 39. Solomon, dedicating the temple, praised this line directly to God. For you alone know the hearts of all the children of mankind. You alone. Not angels, not demons, not the enemy. Scripture draws that line once and never blurs it again anywhere else in the text. So what can the enemy actually do, if not read your mind? He can watch, he can study, he can track the pattern of your words, your reactions, your habits, the way anyone who has spent generations observing human nature could. Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Jesus himself says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Your heart doesn't stay hidden forever. It leaks out in what you keep saying out loud over and over without even noticing. Someone who constantly confesses fear, constantly speaks defeat, constantly rehearses anxiety like a script. That's not a mind being read. That's a pattern being studied and then exploited. But then a harder question surfaces, one that troubles a lot of believers once they get this far. If Satan can't read your thoughts, can he still place thoughts inside your mind? 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5 tells believers to bring every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Read that carefully. You're told to capture thoughts, which means something important. Not every thought that passes through your mind started with you. Some are temptation. Some are pressure from a battlefield you didn't choose to stand on. Some are just noise, fear, trauma, suggestion, static. And here's the mercy hiding inside that hard truth. Jesus himself was tempted in the wilderness. Every category of temptation touched him directly. It never once made him a sinner. A thought landing in your mind is not the same as that thought belonging to you. The landing isn't the sin. What you do with it, that's the part that's yours. This is why Ephesians 6 calls the mind a battlefield worth guarding. A helmet, not an afterthought. So Satan is not your equal. He was never meant to be feared like one. He is a created being. God is the creator. He has limits. God has none. He seeks permission in Scripture. Remember Job. While God holds absolute authority over everything, including him, Colossians 2:15 says Christ disarmed principalities and powers, triumphing over them. Disarmed. Already finished. Already done at the cross. 1 John 4. For he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. Not equal power, watching from the shadows, waiting to strike with knowledge only God should have. A defeated one, still walking, still seeking, but no longer holding the keys he wants you to believe he holds. So the question was never really, can he read my mind? The real question is quieter than that. What have you been saying out loud about yourself, about your fear, about your future that he's simply been listening to? Because the mouth reveals what the mind conceals. And maybe that's the part worth sitting with tonight.